I needed this so much after my weekend and my week for work.
Oh, man, dude, did you survive a hurricane?
Please, dude, you act like I've never been through a hurricane before,
man.
and
We
had
to bunker down.
we had to bunker down from
We
the
rationed. Oh man,
from the
it was
summer
rough.
showers. Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio, your host as always, and tonight joining us this week, because he couldn't make it last week because of the Ebola virus, fresh from quarantine, Ninja Nom.
How's it
Boom,
going,
what's up,
guys? Welcome back. I think it's I'm feeling welcomed back, I should say.
Welcome back, of course. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, no,
Dude, you're already part of the cat. There you go. You're part of
is-
it. There you go. Welcome back, guys. Thank you.
This is where we need the welcome back Cotter music.
Honestly, it's like a yearly ritual, right? So
It
it's
is.
just,
Yeah.
around that time.
yeah,
Right around Evo, and
That's right.
bro. Like, I'm sorry I didn't
Which
get
you
to
can-
see you on the last day. Like, I don't know
Well,
what time.
that you didn't get to see him last day because you were laid up in bed with an ankle injury because you were too busy celebrating at the tables.
Dude,
That
I mean,
pick,
no,
that
like
pick was so funny.
Sunday to Monday, like I don't know what
Yeah.
happened, but just
So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the Beanied One, the current reigning.
oh my god.
Oh, excuse me.
Showing
excuse
off
me.
his ring.
Oh, hey, Nom,
Our-
champion to champion. How you doing, baby? How you doing? Welcome back. Champion to champion. Cheers.
Cheers.
Our Lord Farquaad, Rod Barrera.
Lord Farquaad, far from it. Although, good attempt at the jab. Good attempt.
Well, I mean, you're showing off the pink earring and everything like that. It's like, And then, ladies and gentlemen, the man with the couch. Our maitre d' services, the man with the couch, the Lion's Mane, Jason Valerio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? Dom, thank you again. I'm sorry about that last text. I was like panicking a little bit, but thank you for coming on short notice.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Listen,
Gotta do it
Completely.
on a short notice, just anything can happen. Maybe a hurricane comes your way, you never know.
Dude, man, like it's ridiculous. Like, I mean,
well, let's see
I feel
here.
okay. Let me back it up. Let me say, to the people out in Mexico, Baja California,
Dude. Yeah.
Baja, like, yeah, it definitely went through to you guys for sure. But over here where me and Jerry are, like, people were
We had a rainy day.
scrambling.
Yeah. It was a rainy day. That's all it was.
It was just a regular rainy day, a little bit windy, a little bit rainy,
But
but it
you
wasn't.
guys
But
don't-
man, you wouldn't have thought of that if going through a Costco or a Target.
Mhm.
Like, shelves were empty. Like,
Yeah.
the water area was like everywhere I went was like half gone. Like, people were seriously
Welcome-
like
Hold on.
preparing.
Welcome to preparing for a hurricane, because honestly, if that had shifted just a little bit, you guys could have gotten hammered. So,
Oh yeah.
But no, it is one of those things. So with, we do want to give our thoughts out to the folks that did get hit by the hurricane.
Yes.
As well as our thoughts go out to those out in Maui who are now trying to piece back together their lives after all the fires, on top of having a hurricane go through, Maui.
Yeah.
Rough.
And everything. So a lot of talk about. Sad we're missing Theo tonight because Destiny made a nice little announcement today for their new expansion and getting a replica of the tower from D1 as part of your pre-order bonus. But
And they also announced Keith David is taking over the character
as Zavala.
As Zavala.
He's never going to replace Lance, and he's even said so as much. He won't ever replace Lance. But I think he's a great choice. He has that swagger to him in his voice and just that depth and whatnot. So Nam, let's talk a little Evo really quick, because we didn't get to talk last week because you had the little under the weather and stuff. So how's it feel that this this was potentially the last time you're going to have Marvel versus Capcom at Evo.
Honestly, it feels very deja vu because technically we already had the last Marvel versus Capcom 3 Evo back in 2017, actually. So it was quite the welcoming surprise when I was there this year, and this year happened to be the biggest Evo on top of it was just like a record, like it broke so many records, including the most amount of
Open
unique participants.
Yeah.
Street
Yeah.
Fighter 6 breaking the all-time record of like biggest fighting game bracket of all time, 7,000 plus. Marvel breaking the biggest versus bracket, Guilty Gear breaking the biggest Guilty Gear bracket, et cetera, et cetera. So it was just like a dream come true, and I had a blast. Yeah.
To put it into context, there was 11,000 people who attended.
9,000 ish competitors.
Yep.
So
that's crazy, man.
And
That's
7,000 Street Fighter 6 entries. So 7 out of 9 or whatever that fraction is.
Yeah.
Was
7
playing
nights,
Street Fighter
so
6. Yeah.
You might as well slightly round it up. That's probably what, 7, just shy of 80%, give or take.
Yeah,
like
it's a huge percentage of fighting game players.
That's quite the year. That's quite the big year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot more countries too, you know, a lot more countries came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to answer your question, it's a little bittersweet actually. Just because like this is my scene and like I'm pretty close with the Marvel crew, but you know, now that you know, we potentially won't be at Evo again, minus, you know, maybe they throw another
tournament.
Marvel versus Capcom 2 as a throwback tournament.
Or like an anniversary type thing.
Yeah. But it's just not the same because Marvel 2 and Marvel 3 don't have that same type of crossovers. So people are not gonna have that same reaction as they are for Marvel 3. So it's a pretty big bummer.
So if you go to Evo next year, what's your game potentially gonna be?
I've been to Evo even when Marvel wasn't like a main game. Of course I still competed in the side games like Marvel Infinite. That was kind of like another side game, and Marvel 3 was also kind of also on the side games as well, alternating with Infinite. But I play Street Fighter, I play Guilty Gear Strive. I probably won't be playing Guilty Gear Strive unless season 3 is looking pretty good, which is in 2 days, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, so Guilty Gear Strive season 3 starts in 2 days. Street Fighter 6 has been a blast for me. So we'll see how far I take that.
That's been that's been hugely popular lately.
Oh, dude.
What about what are your thoughts on Mortal Kombat, the newer Mortal Kombat?
MK1. I'm not like the biggest like more like NetherRealm head, but I do play it casually, and even just looking at it like from both a competitive and a casual standpoint, it looks amazing. It actually looks really cool. Even like listening to everyone else's feedbacks, like the big Mortal Kombat heads, they've been talking about it quite a bit. The new assist system is really cool. That's the cameo system. That's making the gameplay a lot faster, and I think that's one of the biggest things about NetherRealms, where some people may not enjoy it as like a viewer experience just because, you know, it's a little bit on the slower side. But so far they've really upped the notch for this one. Like the animations look really good, the characters all look really good. They're like reaching real deep into like the Mortal Kombat lore and pulling everyone out. Like today they just announced Yujinko. They just showed Yujinko.
Yeah.
And if anyone ever like nobody knows who Yujinko is unless you've played Mortal Kombat Deception, right? So it's just like,
well, you talked about that, right? They had at Gamescom, which we're going to talk about here in a second, they had a trailer for MK1 and they showed off a little bit more of a story with Sindel and Shao. And to your point, the assist system, right? With a cameo, you know, Montaro is sitting there assisting Sindel throughout the trailer and whatnot. So
there's some really good combos and everything. I had one other question for you, Nam. I was just wondering regarding Evo. would you be open to seeing, or would you want an updated Marvel vs. Capcom, since like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all these other games are getting either they're rebooted or getting their sequels? Talk about a game that hasn't been touched for a while. That's kind of what I was wondering. Would you want it to be updated, or do you still kind of like it where it's at and want it to, brush it off and come to a tournament every once in a while?
Just to clarify, are you asking if Marvel vs. Capcom 3 should be updated, or is it if there should be a new
like a new one? Like a reboot or a sequel. What's been going on lately? Mm-hmm. Do you want Marvel vs. Capcom's version to come out, either a brand new 4 or a reboot?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always been I just like playing new games, and nothing against the old games. I think like they should remain where they are and they're classics and stuff like that. But personally, for me, I would want to see a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, just so that we can go somewhere in a completely new direction. I obviously played Infinite competitively for a very long time, and I still like the game as whatever it is. But I think we just need a completely different step in a totally different direction, and make sure that
because it's also been time. Yeah,
yes.
It's been a while. Even for a new one. So okay.
The Versus series is just so iconic, and for Capcom to even just let that go is such a waste, honestly.
Yeah. And especially since it's like so high paced, so like action oriented, even though you see some of the games get caught into like those one hit kill or the touch of death combos, it's still that like high impact, that high.
But energy. but some of those clips of the back and forth blocking, and then you're like both competitors on their top game and they get intense. That high speed really gets you hyped into it. And I remember those. Those were awesome.
I think we have one. It's not a versus series, but is certainly a competitor or maybe even a spiritual successor coming up in maybe 2 years, which is Project L. I think Jason is just So Project L, I'm not sure how much you guys know about Project L at all.
No.
I'll be real brief about it. Project L is a fighting game developed by Riot Studios. Yes, Riot Studios, League of Legends.
League of Legends.
This Project L is just an IP just all League of Legends characters. They already have Ari. I'm not an
Echo.
expert. Yeah, Echo.
Yeah, there's a few
Darius,
Yasuo, a few other.
Yeah, those are
I remember seeing the news about this.
I mean, like it is great. And like my question honestly is, do you think EVO is gonna have Project L, or do you think Riot's gonna do their own separate tournament, like how they do with like LCS,
or BlizzCon, right? Or
like a whole different tournament altogether, or are they gonna integrate it into EVO?
It's for sure going to be integrated in EVO, and I think there's no question about that. The reason being is that they obviously showed off Project L at EVO this year, and Project L has hands on with people that have been in the scene for a very long time. They're integral parts of the scene. The Cannon brothers, they are literally the creators of EVO. They're the ones who are running Project L, and the lead development is Clockwork, and Clockwork is obviously a very renowned Marvel vs. Capcom player. So that's why when you watch this game, you already know the versus like blueprint has been all over this
cemented
game. It's fast paced. And
is there any footage on it yet, or
go to Riot Games. They've got a whole
Riot Games
dedicated to Project L.
Sweet, I'm gonna check it out. Cool.
It used to
be
very
moves, all of it.
Used to be very limited, but just recently Riot came to EVO, and they invited all the top players, all of the big content creators to come in and try the game out. They recorded everything. They even had like an alpha test or whatever. They
had a full booth where people were able to watch it, but
of footage for
there's a long line. There was a Zelda.
That was a Zelda line. Oh, no way.
On a line, sir.
I got to play it. Actually.
Sick.
I got to play it.
Yeah.
And your initial thoughts?
It's has potential to be something really good, like very dangerously addicting.
Oh
And
wow.
I just one thing, because it's 2v2, kind of like
Mhm.
Marvel's Capcom Infinite or Marvel's Capcom 1. You can actually play duos, so you can have two real 2v2s,
Yeah.
you and a
Mhm.
partner against two other people, and the game completely changes.
Mhm.
So they've actually already
Oh,
Is that
integrated.
the one, Jason, you were talking about where you have to you have to agree on
Yeah.
tapping in or tagging in?
Tagging in. Yeah. You have to
Yes.
agree. And like Nam was able to do it with who are you playing with? Zach?
Mike.
With Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like they were like, yeah, like Nom's like,
gnarly.
hey, like as soon as I do this move, tag in, and it's like a perfect synchronization, like attack combo. And
Yeah.
it's
Usually,
insane.
That's super cool.
usually,
Yeah.
That's a whole new way to communicate like
Yep.
online.
Yeah.
And man, that's cool.
Yeah.
That really feels like you guys are kind of really kind of more cohesive in your teamwork.
we have to
Mhm.
be synchronized basically, because
That's super
usually
cool.
tag teams is you press the button for the other character to come in. That's if you're playing by yourself. But if
Right.
you're playing for someone else, they have to come in. So they have to read the
Yep.
situation for
And
this
Mhm.
to happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Or if they misread a situation and like get too like
Yeah.
And you
cautious,
blame your
like, oh no, I
partner.
thought,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
You blame your
that's
partner.
cool. So you really have to kind of know your teammate.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be
That's
as toxic as
cool.
League, man.
Yeah. So I mean that's when you start saying, God damn it, Jerry, and start like, Jerry, what the hell, man?
Bro, I'm sorry. You know what? You look like you didn't have it. I wanted to get in. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Oh
It's
man, dude, that
very
can
good.
create
All
some
right.
gold. Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool.
So since we kind of touched on it, let's talk some Gamescom, which Gamescom Opening Night Live was today, hosted by
Yep.
Jeff Keighley, which everybody who knows that name he's the creator of the Game Awards, which this year will in December marks the 10th anniversary of his Game Awards and stuff and whatnot. So
That's still pretty fresh too. It's only 10 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty fresh. That's awesome.
and he's more successful than E3 is right now. Anyways, so it started off with Starfield, with Todd Howard coming out, giving a little bit more of an extended look into Starfield. Highlights, you got to see the lockpicking mechanics now. They also said you can land on every planet that is in the game.
Yeah.
And that is approximately 1,000 planets.
Like,
What?
Yes.
I feel like it's gonna be
Wait, what?
like a cookie cutter on like half of them, you know, or it's just
mean,
like the same thing.
It's Mana Sky all over again. We'll see.
Yeah. Or it's basically Skyrim meets No Man's Sky.
Or No Man's
it's-
Sky, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what it is. They put a lot of things into it. Like you start off with a fighter, you can have a freighter to do different smuggling runs and stuff. I mean, there's a lot they're putting into the
It's
game.
ambitious. It's ambitious, especially from transitioning from your ship to like going to space to like getting into dogfighting technically with your ship, or your first person view and like shoot your combat from
Even
there as well. Like
to combat, right? To that point, right? They showed it off where if you have a kinetic weapon, so your standard bullets, whatnot, you're right. When you fire it in 0G, it will actually push you back, like it actually should in 0G.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ambitious, and I really hope that it does well, because it is such an ambitious title. It does have promise, and let's face it, the Xbox community as a whole needs it. Like from a first person.
And overall, it looks awesome. It looks great. It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yep.
Just hopefully it can handle it, and it has a good opening. It has a good opening run, and it's successful. Yeah.
So they did show off next was Little Nightmares 3. Then the game we kind of talked about, Jerry, that we couldn't quite remember the game. I think the game you were thinking about is Black Myth
Wukong,
which is
Wulong,
rather, which is looks like an Onimusha or a Ghost of Tsushima type game, whatever.
We got a
They
little
announced,
bit more into the. Oh man, it looks so good.
they announced Killing Floor 3. Age of Empires 4 is getting a anniversary edition. And then in typical Jeff Keighley fashion, we had a trailer for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, which is,
So good.
it looks good, but you know, that was originally going to be a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So it was originally pitched. So then they showed off Crimson Desert, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Tekken 8,
Wait for that.
in which we
With
got
their
our
release.
first look at Yoshimitsu and how he's going to look in the game, which,
And the release date.
yeah,
And like 6 other characters too.
Yeah.
and 6 other, I mean, it's
Yeah.
a lot, but I was just excited to see Yoshi
Big drop.
because
Big
Yoshimitsu's he's my character.
He's my favorite
in
too.
Tekken. Along,
Yeah.
so
Along with Jack, I like the robot. I like the robot as well.
Yep. They also showed off after that an extended look at Modern Warfare 3.
Oh yeah, that was good too.
Then they did Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Lords of the Fallen, Sonic Superstars, which looks like any other Sonic side-scrolling game nowadays. The First Descendants, the Crew Motorfest. You got to look at Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty.
That looks good. Yeah.
And then Mortal Kombat 1.
Yep.
So overall, it was kind of like the Game Awards and what they show off for trailers and stuff, typical for that. But there's going to be a huge amount of stuff going on at Gamescom. I haven't seen what PlayStation per se is doing, but you know, when you look at Xbox, they are going to be doing live from the show floor, all from Gamescom. So day one, which starts tomorrow, they're going to have Starfield, Diablo 4, 10-year celebration for Idea Xbox, which is their independent developer program, 33 Immortals, Flight Simulator, Age of Empire 4. You know, day two, Cyberpunk, Forza, Stalker, Alan Wake 2, Armored Core, Ara, History Untold. Day 3, they've got a decent amount, you know, Sea of Thieves rather is highlighting that, you know, Sea of Thieves.
Hellblade
you know,
2, baby.
You got Hellblade 2, which Jason, I am going to start up Hellblade 1 for you. I will do that for you.
I know. I mean, I'm just waiting to get that
so-
on PC, man. Like,
Yep.
We're like a little sad that it's only going to be Xbox PC, but at least we have PC. We can deal with that.
Yeah.
I would try Sea of Thieves too. That game always looked fun to me.
I'm gonna be trying. That's on my to try list right now.
You got to tell me how it is.
So they've at least got some content going, you know, for the couple of days, and
Looks good.
you know, it's a good spread of kind of what's coming to the Xbox.
I hate to bring it up because I don't want to give this dude any more publicity, but there was an incident with Jeff Keighley sometime in the beginning of the announcements of GameCom. I wanted to bring the game up. I was just, the only disappointment I had was I was hoping for a little information or something from Rockstar about GTA 6, and apparently some dude ran up screaming like, we want GTA 6, we want info, and like just kind of like disrupted it for him, the ceremony for a minute. But
dude, okay, it's
other than that, Black
Bill
Myth.
Clinton. Hold on, it was the Bill Clinton guy from
Same
Game
kid?
Awards. The same kid.
Is it? Oh, was it
my
that kid?
God.
Yes. I just
how does that kid get in? How is he not recognizable? That's annoying. That kid's
Maybe
so
he
annoying.
is recognizable. That's why they let him
That's
in.
right. Maybe. Yeah. But
yeah, but it's the same.
that's so funny. It's the same kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Former
was
rabbi.
the only two things I was really hoping for. Like the big surprises were more info on Black Myth, which was awesome. The new trailer. But I was hoping for at least some sort of like
it was
announcement
a
or
different kid.
news on GTA.
It was a different kid. He looks a lot like the first kid, but he basically said Bill Clinton wants to play GTA 6.
What is with the Bill Clinton memes,
I
man?
don't know.
I don't know.
No idea.
But anyways, so I'm glad Xbox has got some stuff on the floor. I don't know about what if Nintendo's even there, what PlayStation may have. As of right now, the only info I've seen is just from Xbox
Yeah.
on what they're going to be there. So
Which is fine, man. Like Xbox, as we've been saying for a long time, they need to like step up their game. They finally have their unique and
exclusive
titles, you know. But they Starfield, I hope really does well because it has a lot of promise. It's showing off a lot of promise.
Yeah.
But it's got to deliver, you know. You got to deliver.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Yep. So with that, speaking of Xbox, they did announce that they have recreated the famed racetrack Nuremberg for Forza Motorsport. So they're going to have a partial segment of the course coming with the game when it launches here in a couple months. In the spring, they're including the full 20-kilometer course.
Was that like, is that awesome? Have you played that
Nuremberg? So Nuremberg is, you had a similar racetrack in Drive Club. It's not really in Gran Turismo, but Nuremberg is one of the most famous courses for racing in the world. Because of its difficulty, because there's different terrain, banks, turns. It's like it's insanely large. Let me see if I can pull up Nuremberg.
Is it a rally race, a long distance race?
Also, all of them. All of the
Oh,
above.
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so it's a part. Oh man. Okay, so that's probably why it's like a worldly known course.
Yeah. It's
yeah, F1.
F1
does it.
Rallycross.
It's
Wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it is here. Let me share the website really quick for them. So when you look at this is kind of the course, like is what it looks like, Jerry, in this top left corner where you see where it actually says Nürburgring.
Right.
That's how the course actually looks.
Oh, gnarly.
So events, they've got the Red Bull Formula Racing is there,
Oh, wow.
ADAC Grand
Yeah, there are,
Prix.
wow.
I mean, granted, this is in the German website because that's where it is. It's over in Germany, but they've done the full track.
Yeah.
The Porsche Sports Cup, GT World Challenge, Ferrari Racing Days. They've
Jeez.
Gnarly.
the supercars, go there.
Look at those cars, guys.
Sick.
Right. So it is going to be the full entire track recreated from the ground up. And for anybody that's played Forza Horizon 5, right, the tech that's been put into that game. Think about what that tech is going to look like now when you've got it built from the ground up for Nuremberg. So I'm excited for that just because I absolutely love Forza. Forza over Gran Turismo any day, and it'll be great to see that. So the other news that came out of Xbox today is they are selling the cloud rights for Activision Blizzard games to Ubisoft for $68.7 billion.
Damn, with a B? With a B?
With a B. With a B.
Well, with a capital C, that's a whole lot of cheddar.
It is a lot of cheddar. So basically, they're restructuring the Activision Blizzard agreement, and this is basically try and get it to go through, right? The only one that's left to now sign off on it is the what is it? The England version of what the FTC is. They've got to sign off on it.
Oh, yeah.
So they've already put their stamp on things saying now we've got a whole new investigation now to make sure this is legit. It's now going to go up until October 18th, which is when the new extension was for the deal to go through. But what it means is that if the proposed deal closes, right, Activision Blizzard games will release exclusively on xCloud or Xbox Cloud Gaming, but they won't be able to exclusively control the licensing terms for the Activision Blizzard games on rival services. So instead, Ubisoft is in control of the licensing. So basically, Ubisoft is going to control the licensing. They're going to license the games back to Xbox to put on xCloud and Game Pass. But if Ubisoft decides, hey, we're going to be releasing these on, say, Linux, well, Microsoft is going to have to make sure that those games are going to have to run on Linux and not just Windows.
Oh, wow.
So confusing.
Yeah, and I get why it's there. It's just a roundabout way of trying to get this deal to go through, right? If you don't own the rights to it from a streaming perspective, that adds more competition, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. I thought we were done with this. Like, it just needs to be over. Just let the acquisition go through. We're at that point now. Everybody else has signed off on it. So
yeah, I thought they were finally over the hill with the whole Sony thing. Like, finally done.
Nope.
Well, and that's the funny thing is that I know, like, Jason, you did the whole Sony scavenger hunt at Evo and stuff like that, but that's been the one thing I was talking to a couple of buddies of mine, is that Sony has still been super quiet even after the whole FTC trial has ended. The only thing you really got on the horizon that we know about is Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. Like, we know that Naughty Dog is working on something. Oh, and then the leak of the Last of Us 2 remaster.
Unnecessary, but that's whatever.
Right? It is unnecessary because all they had to do was do something like they did for Ghost of Tsushima.
But we called this.
Yeah,
I think we called this like a while back. Like, watch, they're gonna do it. And it got leaked.
Why not just patch it like you did for Ghost of Tsushima and Horizon, where you just do a PS5 patch and it's got the updated graphics? But no, they're gonna do a full-on money grab and go for $70 for a remastered game.
They did it for 1. Why wouldn't they do it for 2? They probably figured, but that's what everyone would say. So if they already were gonna pull the trigger on it, why not just I get it, but like you said, cash grab. So grab my cash because I'm gonna probably do it.
I won't. It's all right, but I have Last of Us Part 2 PS4 on my account, so I don't. After Last of Us 1 remake, I don't need to do Last of Us 2 remake again, because all Last of Us 1 remake was basically virtually the same. It's the same exact game with just a shiny coat of paint.
That's it.
Yeah.
What else?
They put in a little bit of the haptics into the the trigger haptics into the game, but that was about it.
Ooh.
It wasn't much. All it was literally just shining it up.
It was pretty much like, if you haven't upgraded or played it in since you bought it, perfect excuse to buy it and play it again. But if you've been up to date with it, you've played it a couple times, you don't need to buy it.
No.
Yep.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So
I would, because I'm a fan, and it will be an excuse to play it again.
Yep. So with that though, we did get some sad news this week, and that came from the House of Mario.
Yep.
From Nintendo. And they released a statement that stated, Charles Martinet has been the original voice of Mario in Nintendo games for a long time, as far back as Super Mario 64. Now think about that.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 up into current, he has been the voice of Mario in the games.
Insane. Yeah. That's
Charles
crazy.
is now moving into the brand new role of Mario Ambassador. With this transition, he will be stepping back from recording character voices for our games, but he'll continue to travel the world, sharing the joy of Mario and interacting with you all. Keep in mind, he does Mario, Luigi, Waluigi, and Wario. So he does 4 characters plus Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Okay.
Yeah.
They go on to say, it has been an honor working with Charles to help bring Mario to life for so many years, and we want to thank and celebrate him. Please keep an eye out for a special video message from Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles himself, which we will post at a future date. This is heavy.
I also kind of feel like the timing is kind of questionable. I'm curious on why.
I think so. I think part of it, and I was listening to the Kit and Krista podcast and a video they did. Kit and Krista used to do the Nintendo Minute when they were still with Nintendo. They left Nintendo because Nintendo was closing the office in San Francisco and wanted everybody to kind of move up to Redmond, which is where Nintendo actually is. They decided they didn't want to move. So, but they were talking about how Mario now has a fleshed out personality thanks to the movie. And they think that they're going to want that personality into the games. And that's probably the direction you're going to probably see them go. My question is, did at least Charles voice Mario for Mario Wonder that's coming out? Or did they just reuse lines? Because remember when we talked to Laura Faye Smith and
he's reused a lot
and
of
Sam,
stuff.
they reuse a lot of the lines that have been recorded. So
that's right.
I think from a brand ambassador perspective, Charles is perfect for Nintendo because he has been the voice of Mario. But this is sad. Unless he's just kind of getting to that point where he's done from a voice perspective because of his vocal cords, he's just getting up there in age, right? But I think this is Nintendo being Nintendo, and it's going to be sad not having Charles there.
That's why I have
Mario and Luigi.
I'm curious. I have questions about all this, like the timing. How his feeling about it. Does he feel like he's done, or did he feel like he's done because he sees the direction that they're going with the movies, and he saw the horizon coming, and he left before the sinking ship.
Saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah. It's just it's unfortunate. I just have a lot of curiosities about it. I hope it was amicable, and the ambassadorship is obviously perfect for him. That's going to be great. But it's super disappointing. We're kind of getting some childhood news, kind of like some devastating childhood news right now. It sucks.
And I've been trying to Google and see if he's put out any real statements, and he hasn't yet, other than, it's been an honor to work with Nintendo, but it doesn't feel right, man. It's like we just lost our dad, in some way. When you look at it, right? It's Mario has been such a part of gaming,
not
and
even gaming,
families,
dude, just
and everything.
literally culture, just honestly culture in general.
Well, he's been a generational icon for decades. I mean,
at this point now,
the character of Mario and the iconic lines have surpassed generations.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. I feel like it is a big thing.
Yeah, if you think about it now, whoever future presidents, they have played or have grown up with Mario. That's how old Mario is now. That's
from the 90s. Yeah. And he did say 2 years ago, I was found an article on CBS News, right? He said 2 years ago, I want to voice Mario until I drop dead. But if someday I think I'm no longer capable of doing it, I will tell Nintendo to look into finding someone else. So I wonder if Charles just said, hey, I'm done.
Maybe.
I think
overall, it's unfortunate.
Sooner or later, you would always have to have a replacement, right? Whether he drops dead or whatever it is. So it's kind of like a sooner than later kind of thing.
Yeah, and once again to bring up, I think once he saw kind of the trajectory of what they're kind of thinking of with the movies, and the rumors of the Zelda movie being next, so maybe he also saw where it was heading and kind of, okay, maybe it's time to start thinking about it's done. It's time, but it's unfortunate. Yeah.
He's only 68 too. So he's got a little bit,
plenty of time.
He's got some left in the tank.
But yeah, a lot of it too, like we were saying with the reusing lines. He's virtually said a lot of stuff over the years. So
who knows?
To have it all recorded, I wouldn't doubt a whole game could be just reused lines. Not gonna lie.
Oh, I can see Wonder being mostly
Yeah.
reused lines from Mario Brothers U. Nam, you were getting ready to say something?
Oh, no, I wasn't.
Oh,
Well,
well,
yeah,
then,
it's
never
it's
mind.
like
Let's
yeah.
not sure to say something.
I
something
no,
like
actually,
that.
I was just looking up like what's like the oldest voice actor. So I was just kind of curious.
Oh, good
You
question.
said
That's a
you're
good
like
question.
68 is a lot in the tank, and I'm like, is it really? The oldest voice actor that I'm a fan of is a Japanese voice actor. His name is Joji Nakata, and he is 69 years old.
Ooh, got him.
Okay,
If he's even
got
alive.
him.
Well, so
What
and
do you
then
what do you
there's
voice?
also Masako Nozawa, who is Son Goku, Son Gohan.
Oh, that's right. Actually, I just saw a couple
Yeah,
pictures of those voice actors. That they're like, yeah, they were older men. They were older, like,
he's
dude.
currently doing he's the narrator on Digimon Adventure.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I mean, you can do it, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of
I think the dude that does Goku, the Kamehameha, I think like they showed footage of the older voice actor dude straight up doing it, like I guess doing like another take. It was cool. Like
Yeah.
they get into it and like it was cool. So they still got it. Yeah.
So with that said, though, I mean, to Nom's point, right? You have to eventually have had a replacement. You know, it is sad, but sometimes it's just time to move on. I mean, he's been playing the character since Super Mario 64, which came out what 97,
92, 93, 94.
Yeah.
no
94.
64?
I would say 94. I
Because it
think
came
94.
out roughly the same time as PlayStation. Like
Hmm.
literally the PlayStation.
Yeah. My guess is 94.
1996.
Oh, okay.
96, yeah.
Damn, the 90s.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy when the youngins are like, "Oh yeah, the 1900s." Like, damn, dude, stop that. Don't say it like that. Like, ew, don't say it
The
like
end of the 20th century. Yeah, it's like, God, dude, really?
Good Lord.
like
Dude,
that's
I was now thinking about it. Like, I was late to the N64 party because I got my N64 once I started working at Best Buy, which was 98, 99, somewhere in there.
oh wow.
Yeah. I was late to that party a lot. So, so we'll see where Nintendo goes with that. I mean, they're in a precarious position right now. You're moving on from the voice of Mario. You're having to deal with Switch 2 rumors left and right.
I wonder if they're gonna have one person voice all four again, or if they're gonna have four different people now.
See, that could be the other thing with Charles
Well,
at his age, right?
That
Is
depends. Usually, what those studios do is they have their A-list like voice who
Mhm.
is the voice and face of the character, and then they'll get someone for like the television or like the
No. I'm just saying, like,
No.
you know how
In game.
Charles did
So,
four.
yeah in
When you look
game or
at-
TV shows, stuff like that.
Well, when you look at how the voices were different, right? Mario to
Yeah.
Luigi to Wario and Waluigi, they were all different. And that could be something too, is Charles could just be at that point where it's like, from a vocal performance perspective, it may just be too hard to kind of
Do all
be
four.
doing
All
be
different
doing four
octaves,
of those,
yeah.
right?
That's what I think. I think they're going to go different.
Because
They're
remember,
going to go different actors.
Kenny was saying like when he did Cat Bowser and how that almost destroyed.
Oh,
his
that
vocal
was weird.
cords,
Yeah.
right? So
That's
that
right.
could be where Charles is looking at it. He just maybe like, dude, I want to be able to speak to my grandkids or whatever, and I have to worry about it, right? So now, since it's been a bit since you've been back on, what have you been playing lately that you're actually like enjoying?
It's been a whole year, huh? I I played, man, it's been a long
Yeah.
time.
Or
I don't
anything you're
remember
proud
what
of finishing or
I
yeah.
I went through Final Fantasy Crisis Core.
Okay.
I Reunion, I think it's called. That was pretty fun.
Mhm.
And then I started playing Elden Ring.
Oh
Um,
Lord.
yeah. I wanted to let it simmer for like a year before I started it. And man, I freaking love that game.
It's
Not gonna lie.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hooked. I'm honestly more hooked on the game now that I get to play like multiplayer.
Mhm.
There's like a mod called Seamless, and I've just been playing that with friends, and that's been super fun. Another
Sweet.
game is Across the Obelisk. I've been playing Across the Obelisk with some of my friends here. That's a deck building roguelike game.
Okay.
Hmm,
Oh, I haven't heard.
interesting.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. If people have played like things like Slay the Spire
Mhm.
or I forgot what that game is called, but yeah, it's essentially just a deck building, and you get to play 4 players too, so it's actually super fun.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of
Sweet.
like the D&D style where it's like tank and mage and rogue and healer and stuff like that. Like you could
Sweet.
you could play like different classes, so then like each player can play a different class or the same class or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's been super fun. Street Fighter 6, I think that's a pretty obvious one. I've been playing Street Fighter 6. It's super fun. So
Mhm.
yeah, I hope to play Diablo 4 pretty soon.
Mhm.
I've been trying to push that away because I've been practicing Street Fighter 6 for Evo, and now that Evo's over,
Yeah.
it's kind of calling my name.
It's like, come play me. Come play me.
I know, but the
Ooh.
problem is that I've delayed it for so long, and Armored Core comes out in a few days.
Yeah.
So
And Jerry just went max headroom on us.
Yeah, Jerry's
Speaking of the
bugging
90s,
out.
he just glitched out
Right.
in the Matrix.
Yep.
not even. He wasn't the center square, so he kind of glitched out and went the way of the 90s. But so Jason, what have you been playing?
Man, what have I been playing? I mean, like, not much really. Been just playing some team fight tactics just to
Mhm.
like relax a little bit. I got back into the Skullgirls mobile for a little bit,
Is that
so
good?
it's okay. It's not the greatest, but you know, it's something to kill the time in between like break and stuff like that.
There you go.
Just trying something new, trying something different.
Mhm.
I kind of want to get back, like get into Skullgirls, but I don't know. Like I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I gotta figure out a game that I actually want to just play out and just get better at.
Yeah.
You know, because I still don't have Street Fighter 6. Don't tell anybody, but you know,
It's not like they're
No,
watching
Oh
this right now or
no.
anything.
yeah, I know, not like our friends are watching, but but no, like I was playing with Nam, first time at Evo. I was like, yo, you know, just picked it up and had a good time with all the guys, you know, just playing in the room.
I mean,
Yeah,
when
I
you
don't
think
know.
about it, though, is Street Fighter hasn't really changed all that much from a fighting mechanics standpoint
Oh no, it's changed a lot.
over the years.
In
Has it?
mechanics, yeah. That's where
Mhm.
it's changed a lot.
It's-
Since
the
I would
base
say since the past
idea-
like 3 games, the mechanics have been touched up like heavily.
I didn't play 5, but even like 4 felt a lot like
yeah,
the
like,
prior predecessors
but
where you could just
6
kind of do the basic moves and
6 is a lot different, man. Like it
Mhm.
Yeah.
is. There's a lot more to think about. There's a lot more.
did they actually evolve it?
footsies. Yeah,
If you want my opinion on what they did with Street Fighter 6, is that they
Mm-hmm.
took all the other concepts from every other game, 3, 4, 5, and they put it into this one, Street Fighter 6.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially like the parry mechanics of 3, the focus attack
Okay.
of Street Fighter, focus
Oh,
dash
wow.
cancels of Street
Yeah.
Fighter 4, all these other things too from Street
Mhm.
Fighter 5. Like they all
Okay.
kind of come together and coalesce to make Street Fighter 6 a lot more fast paced. And in fact, it's so fast paced that now competitors are saying that 2 out of 3 is too fast and that they want 3 out of 5. So it's
Oh,
one of
wow,
those
really.
first times where you would imagine they're saying, "Oh, Street Fighter, it's too fast." Like, you know, who would say
Yeah.
that? You wouldn't imagine anyone saying that, right?
Right.
But here we are, and you can get erased in one round in like 10 seconds if you're not
Really,
like,
they're gonna
you're not paying
Dang.
attention. You know what I'm
they're
saying?
thinking
Damn
about
it! So
3 out of
it's
5s now.
wow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but obviously
It's
because
that
it's so
fast.
if it's so popular and you put it a 3 out of 5, these brackets would be running for hours on
That's
end.
crazy.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually those matches are like back to back, like going back and forth, and like that was kind of like the appeal of those Street Fighter fights, where like they're going back. You know, they did last a little
Right.
bit longer, where it was a little bit more intense and more hyped. But yeah,
If it's obviously at the highest levels, it's gonna be really back and forth and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
yeah,
But there's
that's what I remember.
always
Those are
yeah,
fun.
there's always an opportunity for someone to get ran over, and it's not because of anyone's fault. It's just that's
Mhm.
how the game is, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jerry, what you been playing last week?
Let's see. More tiers, just kind of troping around. That's going to be my game for the year for Nintendo for Switch. So
Bro.
like I like to touch it a little bit a day. Let's see. Speaking of which, I went back to Last of Us 1 for my last run where I think when I bought the remake and I got distracted and I stopped playing it. So like I just finished it. Finished my run on that. Got my other games I've been wanting to play. Started Sifu. Just finished that. I'm going to start Stray and hopefully finish that.
Stray is good. Stray, it's short, but it's good.
I've been wanting to finish it and play it. I finished the tutorial, so now I can just kind of dive right in and continue hitting my backlog. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, as always, the Easter egg on the show.
Okay, you've been playing some KI, huh?
Nice.
Yeah, Killer Instinct.
Nice.
So this shirt, this is a new one. I got in from the company that makes them for Killer Instinct, but this shirt was originally given out at E3 2015.
Oh, sick.
That's when the game came out, right?
No,
No.
the reboot Killer Instinct came out in 2013. But it was season 2 was coming out in 2015. So they had a booth over at the Xbox area over on the show floor when they were actually still out on the show floor at E3.
That's right.
And this is where Theo learned that when I am rocking a character that I know very, very well, going back to the original Killer Instinct days, muscle memory takes over super quickly.
Which character is that?
Orchid.
Nice.
Yeah,
that was my first Killer Instinct character.
Yep. Orchid.
Oh,
I was banned by my friends when we used to play it on the Super Nintendo from playing Orchid unless I used random and random picked Orchid for me. Because I was that good with her to the point where I could get the 45 hit ultra combo that included the air juggle at the end of it.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
See,
So,
I told the guys, man, they need to come out to Evo with us, man. Like,
you know what? I have this conspiracy, not a conspiracy. I just have a theory. I think KI will be one of the retro games or throwback games, maybe within the next couple years.
Because of
That's just my guess.
Are we talking OG KI?
No, I'm talking like Xbox KI.
Oh, 2013.
No, I think
KI?
they'll
Okay.
probably have one of the old school ones because they did for like Street Fighter 25, you know?
That's
anniversary edition. It's a little different. Not HDR, sorry. HDR.
But yeah, I've been playing a bunch of KI. Just enjoying being back in that game. It has always been my fighting game, going all the way back. Played it both arcade and on the Super Nintendo. Ended up getting really good with TJ Combo, Saber Wolf, Glacius, Fulgore. So I used to have backup characters. You kind of forced to get good with them.
Telling
but
you, man. Evo
I still remember we're
that.
sitting there at E3, right? And Theo picked Riptor. He'd never played the game at all. And I'm like, okay, I haven't played the new version of KI, and I go back to the original. All of a sudden, like he completely button mashed me into the corner and just basically just drained my first bar. And I was like, okay, sure. And then all of a sudden my fingers started twitching. And you know this, Nam, just Orchid's got that combo that will just wreck people. And all of a sudden, my fingers figured out the button moves for doing that combo in the new version, and it was just like Theo was done. And whatnot. So, but yeah, this is the shirt they were giving out that even includes, it does say established in 94, which is when
Sweet.
it actually originally came out.
Yeah.
So there's that, and I've been playing Halo 1.
Oh yeah, nice.
The OG still just got done to the silent cartographer, so working my way through that.
Cool.
It's been fun going back to it. Like even
Such a
with
great
the
story.
even
Such
with the
a great
janky
story.
controls that we had back on the OG Xbox, but yeah, dude, xCloud has been super great still. Like I only had a
Sweet.
little bit of a lag over the weekend, but that was it. Everything else been pretty nice. I'm looking forward to Starfield because that is supposed to hit xCloud when it launches. So I will be playing that and trying it out.
Well,
Nice.
you and everybody that has an Xbox,
Right.
you know, like
It is, and I'm actually gonna start Fable.
Oh,
Like,
from the
nice.
beginning,
The-
or like
The original
Or two,
original
2 and
Fable.
3.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do 1, 2, and 3.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
they have
Good
they
luck
have
with that.
They have the anniversary edition of 1 where they went in and did the tweaks and the quality of life improvements and stuff. So
Okay,
that's on
okay,
there,
cool.
so. And
That'll be
then
fun.
I do for Jason. At some point I need to start Hellblade.
it's
Promised
like
him
I
I
said,
would,
it's not that long
so-
of a game. It's maybe like a 5-6 hour game if you go through it. Like 10 if you take your time and enjoy like everything.
Yep.
But it's just a great like story game. Like it is very, very linear. Like, but just the story is just so good. So
Yeah,
good.
the
And I
trailers
get it.
have always been so alluring where like I've been curious of what those are too, and I've been wanting to try those out as well. So yeah, you got to tell me what how they are.
And I got to give Jerry, you and I were talking about this. I got to give kudos to the newest Xbox controllers and stuff, because now they've added that texture from the back up onto the triggers and the bumper buttons, and it's really
cool.
super nice to play with. So got to give kudos Xbox for that. So
Sweet.
figured might as well play xCloud with an actual real Xbox controller instead of a Switch Pro controller, which is mildly entertaining. So anyway, so Nam, we need to do this more often than just once a year. You know, you always have a open invite.
Yeah, bro, you got to just crash whenever you want, man.
Oh,
You
is that
know.
how that works?
Yeah, dude, you just
Seriously,
like
just-
yeah.
Hey,
You got some time, just
hit
crash
Jason up,
in.
see
It's
what we
just
got
like, what's
going
up,
on,
dudes?
and come hang out and
What you
whatnot.
doing?
But you are welcome back anytime.
For sure.
But
definitely up to CEO too, you know, like gotta do Evo and CEO.
ooh,
I think once Mortal Kombat 1 drops, maybe I'll stop by again. That's
Yeah.
coming up in a few weeks.
yep.
Oh, I'd
Jerry,
be
you're
down.
getting-
Yeah, I'm getting that as well. I
Jerry's
pre-ordered
getting
that.
Out in September.
That and also to throw it out there, I also pre-ordered Lords of Fallen. I've gotten too curious about it. That's gonna be my game I'm gonna try out.
All right. All right. So to the folks at Crash Game Night in the chat tonight, or for those that are going to be listening to the episode this weekend, thanks for crashing. Yeah. Hopefully we brought you a little bit of distraction from the world as it is right now, with all the chaos going on and whatnot. So first time checking us out, hey, if you like what you heard, head on over to crashinggamenight.com. Find the platform you want to follow us on, drop us a follow, whether it's YouTube, Twitch channel, or the audio platforms. Catch the back episodes, including Nam's past episodes as well. He has a profile built on our contributors and guest page with links to his prior episodes. But with that, guys, just as always, be excellent to each other.
Nom, once again, bro, thank you for joining. Champion to champion. champion
Whoa.
to champion.
That's a
Just want
huge
to.
ring.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. You know, it's heavy. I got to switch it from hand to hand. From the Monopoly champion. You know, just
Dude,
throwing that out there again.
I feel you.
dollar store. Move on from it already.
Once again, guys, let's throw the same message out there. Once again, let's try and be a little bit more patient, a little bit more compassionate, and once again, let's just try and be and do a little bit better, just as people and as human beings, and try and lend a helping hand or just help when you can if you see the opportunity. Let's just try and do better and be better. Thank you, guys, and all you nerds, have fun. And J-Dog, J-Bone,
Yep.
to you.
Thank you guys, and Nam, thank you again for joining us. You know, every year, both at Evo, fun hanging out with you all the time out there. And then like Matt said, just anytime you want to come through, just jump on in, like anytime. You're like, you know, I got like 10 minutes to spare on a Tuesday. Shoot on through. But again, thank you again. To all the people that are out there on the Maui fires, you know, the hurricane that just passed by over here, and
Prayers to all of you guys. Yes.
Baja, California, Mexico, you know, like thoughts and prayers go out there, you know, stay safe, be kind to each other, you know, as Jerry says too. And I'm not going to finish it because I don't want to give Matt that satisfaction of finishing off that sentence. But, you know, my man, Theo Walski, is not here tonight, so I guess I'll have to shoot it out to Matt because Jerry. Maybe the champion. Maybe it's a champion, right? You know, I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
messed it
think
up,
I
Jerry,
can
that's
do
why.
it. I think I can do it, but
Okay,
that's
all
fine.
right.
You go ahead.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Matt can do it.
My
Matt can
man,
do it.
my man, who's not Theo, Jerry Barrera. Send us off like Theo does.
Man, too much pressure. Too much pressure. You guys put too much pressure on me. I screwed it up. Go ahead, Matt. I screwed it up.
Till next time, guys. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Too much pressure.